live rounds being fired by police.
My people, if you're wondering what's been going on in Kenya, move closer. The people refuse to bow, by the way, even when they shot protesters. All this happened because the government has taken too many loans from different places, but especially from China. So all of you that are taking loans from China, hey. So the president, William Ruto, decided to introduce ridiculous taxes in order to pay back China. They are owing about 80 billion American dollars, by the way, in domestic and foreign public debts. And it is the people that they want to pay for it as usual. They are not willing to reduce their own salaries or allowances or the cost of governance in general. They want the people to endure. Very, very familiar something. Meanwhile, people are saying that some of these loans that we are talking about was embezzled by these public officials. The ironic thing, guys, is that this president, William Ruto, who came in 2022, came in on the pledge to uplift the lives of the poor. He said that he was coming to lift people out of poverty. Ashe! Last year, his government introduced a housing tax and raised the top personal income tax rate. That one led to anger. It led to street protests and court challenges. He did not learn. He decided to do it again this year, Meanwhile, people were already complaining about economic hardship. The price of everything has gone up. They were already facing a high cost of living. But then Ruto's government said, nah, let's add more taxes. Now you have to be paying taxes on bread, on cooking oil, on vehicle ownership, on financial transactions. And people were like, hell no. They protested. Why would I be paying taxes on my bread? So the government said, okay, we'll scrap that one. So then they decided, okay, women should now be paying taxes on sanitary pads and diapers for babies. Can you imagine? Pads that are already expensive. Do you know that some girls in rural villages would even skip school when they are on their period because they cannot afford pad? Now you want them paying taxes to use the pad that they cannot afford in the first place? I better know. And you want mothers with little babies to pay taxes on diapers? So the people fought back. And they dropped that one as well. They now moved to imported goods, but that includes electronics like cell phones, cameras, recording equipment, TVs, and radio devices. People were like, okay, this one will be detrimental to the digital economy of the country, which many people depend on for their livelihood. So young people were like, you know what, that's it. Enough is enough. They decided to move their protest from social media to the streets. More than 200 people were arrested, by the way, when they started this protest, but they did not stop. They were shooting tear gas, they were harassing protesters. These young people in Kenya did not stop. Meanwhile, the parliament decided to go ahead with another reading of the bill. Can you imagine? That is insensitive. It is insulting even that people are protesting about something, but you are still doing meetings wanting to go ahead with it. It is very, very insensitive now. So guess what? The people decided to take the protest to them at the parliament as they were doing their meeting. They invaded the parliament right as they were meeting. Apparently, these politicians are not as brave as they want us to think. Because guess what? They fled you. They escaped through the underground tunnel at the parliament. They must have known that something like that will happen someday. Can you imagine? So they fled. I was expecting them to remain seated and talk to the protesters and say, okay, this is why we are doing this. Meanwhile, protesters came into the parliament. They felt at home. They ate their food. They also destroyed some properties, which I am not in support of. See, I'm in support of the protest, but there was no need to destroy anything. That one I'm not in support of. But before you know what's happening, guys, police opened live ammunition. They opened fire.
And we do have some breaking news coming in. We're going to show you new pictures coming out of the Kenyan capital of Nairobi. What you're looking at right there is protesters have breached the parliament building. Advance, we're told, inside the building. There's also been tear gas and live rounds being fired by police.
They started shooting protesters, and at least 8 people were killed that day. All because they protested. Wow. It's like another Lekki Gate. And it didn't stop there. The president came out that day saying that the protesters were criminals. He said dangerous criminals, and that his government would deal with them.
I have directed all the organs of our national security to deploy measures to thwart any attempt by dangerous criminals to undermine the security and stability.
Wow. Who writes these speeches for African leaders? I don't know. It's like they're all one because they just don't get it. They don't get it. They don't even know how to connect with people. They don't know how to talk. It's like they have to write something for them. They can't even just talk from their heart. What is their problem?
It is possible that the criminals who rained terror on innocent people and attempted to challenge our law enforcement deployments are still determined to continue with their dangerous behavior. I assure Kenyans that we shall provide a full, effective, and expeditious response to today's treasonous events.
So did he declare war on his own citizens? And he said he's doing that to protect the people. Which people gonna? As in, they act as if you question them, then you are against the country, and now you are the enemy. Guys, do you know that night, ladies and gentlemen, after the president's speech of going after the protesters, videos started surfacing of soldiers driving through town, shooting sporadically in the middle of the night. See, they always do their dirty job at night, in the dark. By morning, ladies and gentlemen, death toll was officially 23. But people believe that it's more than 40. And then the president decided, okay, they will step down on the bill. And I'm like, wow.
I concede. And therefore, I will not sign the 2024 finance bill, and it shall subsequently be withdrawn, and I have agreed with these members.
So people had to die? I mean, even though the will of the people prevailed, why wait for protesters to be killed? You know, saying something like that on Saturday would have prevented the loss of lives. And why would you even allow your security forces to use live ammunition on protesters? Not at any point did he condemn what his policemen did or his soldiers. And speaking of police, by the way, here is the video of one of the police officers that was harassing protesters on that day, that Tuesday. Here is a video of him crying when he found out that one of the people that the police, his colleagues, killed was his brother.
Nichukua uniform nipelekea polisi, niwaambia kutoa kitari.
Publicly, because of nonsense ya bullets.
Kutoa kitari. Kutoa kitari.
Wow. Our sympathy to the family. May you so rest in peace. But guys, would it have been okay with this officer if it was someone else's brother? Or someone else's son? Why do you even shoot at protesters at all? Your brothers and your sisters, because of politicians that quite frankly don't care about you as a police officer. And what the people are fighting for, you are in it together. You are also feeling the economic hardship. You are feeling the high cost of living. You will have to pay these taxes. They are fighting for you. Why shoot at all? In that same video, he said he's resigning as a police officer. Again, our sympathy to his family. Meanwhile, what the people of Kenya were fighting for is actually not even close. What they were facing or what they were about to face is not even close to what we are facing in Nigeria right now. So to see them take a stand, even to the point of going to the parliament as they were doing their meeting, speaks volume, guys. It says a lot. I keep wondering, how much are we willing to endure before we also say enough is enough? As it is, guys, the people of Kenya are not happy, even though the bill is there. They are putting a pause on the bill. The people are saying the next item on the plate is for the president to leave. Don't forget to subscribe if you're yet to. Let me know what you guys think about that. All right, y'all, it's been real, and I'm keeping it right up in here. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And if you're yet to subscribe to my channel, I'm watching you on Plasma TV. Press the subscribe button and the bell button. Until next time, I'm going to see you later. Peace out.